definitely edit the first bit because now I look like a psychopath. Right, ready?
Yeah.
I don't normally do this on
No, that's weird, isn't it?
Hello and welcome to the Business for Superheroes show. I'm Vicky Fraser and this week I'm talking to Todd.
So good they named me twice.
Yeah.
That's my name.
He has just given me a bottle of gin, which is frankly fucking awesome.
We're drinking gin.
We are drinking gin. Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers. Chin chin, guys. It's really nice.
It's actually quite
Isn't
nice,
it lovely?
isn't it?
So this gin, I'm videoing this podcast as well. If you're listening to it, then obviously you can't see, but I'm showing it to the camera.
Yeah.
It's Brockman's Intensely Smooth Premium Gin infused with exquisite botanicals. And it is exquisite. It's really nice.
I don't normally drink gin. I'm a bit of a heathen. I drink beer.
Yeah. Well, I drink beer as well. Sometimes on the podcast, but yeah, but gin is great.
Maybe it's because I've been drinking shit gin that I don't like gin.
Possibly.
Like him, like Mr. Gordon.
Gordon's can be okay.
Can it?
There is better gin out there though.
Right, that's where I'm going wrong. I am drinking shit gin.
Well, you should come to the Spring Gin Fling. More on that later.
Nice ad.
Thanks.
It's like no one noticed that.
I know, right? So anyway, yeah, this week obviously Joe is not with us because I am interviewing Todd.
You really should just call me Todd. I'm
Todd.
going for like the whole Madonna thing, but without the tits.
I know. And we are talking about social media and how not to be a douchecanoe. So
I love that new word you picked. Is it in the English dictionary?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I think it needs to be used a certain number of times. I think, doesn't it? Before.
Well, I think you're doing a pretty good job of that.
Douchecanoe. Anyway, okay. So Todd's been on the show before, but I'm just going to get him to quickly introduce himself, and then I'm going to set him off on a rant. So Todd, tell us what you do.
Set me up on a rant.
Yeah.
Wind me up. Send. My name's Todd. I run a social media marketing agency. So a lot of people know me for doing their social media. Many people will know me for teaching them to do social media if they're a small business, and I also do a lot of copywriting and stuff like that, which is why we have like a mutual love thing going on for our copy. Yeah, and I run an agency with my partner Joe. We've done that since 2013 when I quit my job, quit my marriage, quit my life, started a business, and 5 weeks ago Joe had a baby, and she's a girl I met on Twitter, so that's me.
Joe's awesome.
She is awesome. You knew Joe before me, I think.
I did.
Yeah.
I did.
This is Joe without a name, not your Joe.
Yeah, this is not my Joe.
This is going to be weird, isn't it?
Yeah, there's a lot of Joes.
We've both got a Joe.
Yeah. Anyway, okay, so that's a little bit about Todd. So Todd, what pisses you off at the moment?
You just literally want me to rant.
We've only got like 25 minutes, so rein it in a little bit.
Oh God. The thing that bugs me, and has always bugged me about social media, is massive, great big companies just getting it so wrong, using it as a sales channel, or small business owners who are automating things, cheating, trying to sell, being spammy, being boring, doing the same as everybody else. And then my thing this week that's really annoying me was actually sparked by your podcast with, what's the lady's name?
Stephanie Arroyo.
Well, she said, oh yeah, a lot of coaches have been taught to ask, what's your favourite colour? Which banana is the favourite shape? If you're a car, which one would you be? Just fuck off. No one cares.
Nobody
No
cares.
one cares. So what really pisses me off at the moment is people snorting comments and likes.
Okay, so what's snorting? You mentioned this earlier. What is snorting comments and likes?
People who just want comments and likes because it makes them feel better. Because this is why people are addicted to social media, because you're getting attention. Ooh, attention. But getting attention for someone saying what their favourite colour is just not the right attention.
No.
And then you get these other people who know that things like Facebook and LinkedIn and Twitter have an algorithm, and the more response you get to your content, the more likely it is your content will be shown to people in the future. So yes, that is true, but please don't ask people what their favourite colour is, because it really pisses me off. But don't do it because you just look like a douchecanoe.
Yeah, be a bit more fucking interesting.
Be a bit more fucking interesting.
Okay, so that's kind of, and I've seen a bit of that as well, and I thought I'd pass it because when Stephanie talked about this to me, I was like, I have not seen this.
Oh God, really?
Obviously, I was hanging out in the wrong place, or maybe it was mostly in America, and now it's just made its way over to the UK. Yay!
It has definitely made its way over the water. And I'm in a few business communities, and one of them is it's just all over it. And then I've started to see it leak into my timeline, and I'm like, please, just don't.
So what do you do when you see that on your timeline? Do you jump in and do a Todd on them?
No, I'm not that bad.
Oh, you should. Stephanie does.
Oh no. See, I kind of hate passive aggressive posts, but I guess I kind of do it because I then go and create a post like I've done today saying, what's your favourite colour? No, please don't answer that because I don't care and no one else fucking cares either. No one cares about your favourite colour. They just want comments. So I guess I'm kind of doing the passive aggressive thing. So I'd have no time on my hands if I had to go and argue with every single person that pissed me off on social media because I'd be there a long time.
Wow, you would die of old age before you finished.
Yeah, I'm going to shoot the dog.
So yeah, that noise. I'm not actually at the Dingle tonight. I am at Casa Todd, for other reasons to do with your summer camp.
Yes.
Because we've been doing that, and that noise that you can hear in the background is Harvey Beagle whining.
Yeah.
He was snoring earlier. That was hilarious.
For some unknown reason, but anyway, he's every time he whines, because I'm a cowboy, I'll shoot him with my pistol.
Water pistol.
No bullets yet.
Okay, so apart from that, and maybe it's one of them, but what are the top 3 mistakes you see people, small businesses really, because that's kind of my market.
My market.
What top 3 mistakes people are making on social media?
A lot of them.
Harvey Beagle is now digging a hole in his bed.
Digging a hole in his gun. He will need another shoot. Harvey, that was right up your arsehole. I hope you enjoyed that. A lot of the mistakes I see people making, the sales thing is great. A lot of people see social media as their opportunity to sell because I firmly believe people on social media are monkeys with keyboards. We're all monkeys, we're wandering around, we're all out of our own jungles, we're on keyboards, woo! And we feel very, very brave and we think, I'm just gonna spam my timeline. And that's what got me into social media for small businesses. So many small businesses just see social media as an opportunity to absolutely spam the living hell out of everything.
He's going crazy in his bed.
What is he doing? I'm just going to shoot the dog.
We're going to have a short hiatus while Harvey gets a cuddle. Oh, it's second.
Oh, he's all fun. So that bugs me, and that's always bugged me. That because when I started doing social media for a small business, which is where I kind of fell into it, I quickly worked out that people don't care about your sales. They care about your story and they care about you. And so I've spent the rest of my life trying to encourage people, please be you. That's your one unique thing. Please just share why you do what you do and what you do. Is that everyone is saying it, but with social media, you just need to share that story. And it's never the big things you do. People wait, oh, I've got an event coming up. We need to tweet about it. Like, you need to tweet about when you go for a shit. That's interesting to people.
Don't tweet about when you go.
Well, okay. Tweet about what you're thinking about tweet whilst you're having a shit. You need to constantly update social media all the time. And that's what pisses a lot of people. Oh, yeah, talk about your breakfast again. But if all you do is talk about your breakfast, that's dull. But if you talk about where you're having your breakfast and why and who with and what you're doing next, that becomes interesting.
And it does. And you know what? A client of mine actually has built and is building an entire brand around that. He does stuff with construction companies. And his thing is that he has breakfast every day and he always posts a picture of his breakfast on social media. It's like today's breakfast, and he's also doing weight loss stuff and fitness stuff. So it's kind of all tied into that. And it does make sense because he's kind of built this, it's like changing the world one breakfast at a time is kind of his thing.
It's fantastic.
That he's doing.
There's a guy I follow on Twitter, he's called Mark Shaw, he's at Mark Shaw on Twitter, and since forever I've followed him, 2009 probably when I started following him. He has always woken up in the morning and said, he lives in Totteridge, I think that's right, and he tells us what the weather's like and he asks us what it's like where we are. Every single day. And it's like, well, oh God, we'll talk about the weather, that's boring. No, because everyone has the weather. Yeah. Everyone eats breakfast. So it's those little tiny things, the normal things that you should talk about. So when I used to work as a wine merchant, driving a van, I wouldn't just talk about our sales and our special offers, although I did in the early days. I actually talked about when I broke wine, when I crashed the van, when I fell down holes. When we went to weddings a day early, on Friday the 13th, you couldn't write it. So I did. I put it on Twitter. Because that's what people are interested in. Yeah. They're interested in the cock-ups. This is why You've Been Framed is still going. This is why cat videos are so fucking brilliant on YouTube. Because we like a mistake. And if you're brave enough to share warts and all, it's like having an open kitchen in a restaurant. You see how stuff happens. That is what social media is for. Yeah. That's the thing. So what bugs me about it, it's many things, but one of the biggest things is people don't get that that's what it's for. They don't get that it's for sharing the story.
Yeah, and the kind of related to that is, like you're saying, the behind the scenes thing. Often we only see what people want us to see, and so you only see like the polished end result, and that puts such a false view of what life and business is really like, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's why I do loads of small videos, like 60-second Instagram videos and tiny Twitter videos and Facebook Live, like we've just done just now, which is, you can't edit it, you can't change it, because it's real. I think you go to watch a YouTube video, and then there's an advert that comes on in the beginning, and it's clearly staged, it's clearly scripted. It's just not believable anymore. And because we've now all got these camera phones with videos on, this is where we are in this absolutely real world. And yes, you can still have the shiny, sheeny stuff, and you probably should for the homepage of your website. But day to day, do some really good, down to earth, ground roots, dirty stuff, on video. Just do normal stuff, because that's what we're all like. We're all normal. We're all winging it. We're all shit behind the scenes. We all wake up with smelly breath. You know what I mean? We're all normal. Let's just be normal, and more people will buy into you. And I think the biggest advantage at the moment for small businesses is we can just do that now. We can just suddenly wake up tomorrow and think, fuck it, that's what I'm doing. I'm going to do that. And the next thing is you've got so many great things to speak about and try and test, and no one's going to care if you cock it up.
Yeah.
There's not masses of investors. It's not going to be a PR disaster. No one will even notice.
Yeah.
And that's with the wine days. That's what I did. I just messed around until I found something that worked. And then, parking the van was a thing.
Why?
Every time, if you're a van driver, you can park anywhere.
Yes.
So I flamboyantly parked anywhere, and it became a hashtag flamboyantly parked every time I parked the van. It's like sharing your breakfast. It's a transit van on double yellows. Yes, but it's different double yellows, and it's in a different town, and it's a different place, and it's slightly parked. And then people copied the parking, put the same hashtag, and then they would catch me parked somewhere else, take photos of me and tweet them to me. And it became a really daft thing. But it was just part of this story, and it was something relatable. We've all had to park somewhere. We've all seen an illegally parked van, and it was just a daft thing. The underlying current was, I'm in the Houses of Parliament, I'm near a castle, I'm at a posh house, and people got what I did without me saying, hey, do you want to buy some wine?
Yeah, and that's kind of, that brings me on really nicely to selling via social media, because you have to sell. We have to sell, because otherwise we will all be broke. But that is a really nice way of doing it. So what advice would you give to small business owners who want to get into social media but don't want to do the obnoxious sales pitch thing that so many people mistakenly do?
What I usually say to people with social media is continue doing what you're already doing, and then do some social media. Don't start a business and think social media is the answer. Don't come to companies like me and say, I need to sell something, I want you to do it on social media. I spoke to a potential client earlier, although I pushed her away, about to launch a book, about to push this thing out, got loads of keynote talks coming up, PR all planned. I need you to put all the content out on social media. I said, no, you don't. That's the last thing you need me to do. The way to sell on social media is just to have your social media telling your story, documenting what you're up to, allowing people to get to know you, have it there as a running commentary. Twitter is a great tool just as a running commentary. LinkedIn is a great place to put out your thoughts and what you aspire to be like, and as I do, to piss people off and go against the grain.
We'll come back to that in a moment.
Yeah. And Facebook is a fantastic place for live video, for content, for rich stuff. And if you want to get into things like stories on Snapchat and Instagram, it's a great way to just let people into your life and your business, the behind the scenes stuff. People love watching things be made, time-lapse videos of bridges being moved. How fascinating is it to watch something shrink? Someone put 3 ice creams on a roof in the summer and time-lapsed it. Which one would melt first? Ridiculous.
But cool.
Viral video.
Yeah.
The Magnum one, by the way, because I know you all want to know. But it's the fascinating, and it was an advert for Magnum. Very, very, very clever marketing. Yeah. But it's that stuff. People want to know how stuff is done and what happens behind the sheen. So if you want to sell on social media, don't sell on social media. Let people in. Let them know you. Let them like you and trust you. And do you know, if they don't like you, then that's cool as well.
It took me a long time to get social media, because I didn't used to rail against social media and say it's evil and you should never do it. But what I did say was just be really careful about it, because you can waste a lot of time on social media.
Oh God, yeah.
But it took me a long time to get it, and now I'm just starting to get my head around it and starting to use it a bit more for business, largely thanks to you. But I've been using Instagram quite a lot.
Yeah, I noticed. Yeah.
And I'm getting, I'm not doing any paid lead generation at the moment. By the time this goes out, I might be, but now I'm not doing any paid lead generation. But I'm getting a steady trickle of sign-ups to my email list, and I'm pretty sure a lot of it's from Instagram, because I share my chickens, I share my trapeze stuff, I share my pole dancing face plants, I share the toad that we found at the bottom of the garden, and all of the dingle stuff.
Who cares about that stuff, Vicky? Who cares?
Well, people do though.
People care about this stuff.
I've doubled my followers in the last month just because I've started doing more Instagram
Yeah.
stuff, and they're signing up for my emails.
I do an Instagram thing on. I try and do a video a day. There's 60-second videos. The great thing about Instagram is to keep the video rolling, you have to keep your thumb on it, and if you let go, it stops it.
Oh.
So I do this thing. You will do. At the very, very beginning of Spaghetti Agency, before I launched it was all under cloak and dagger, and it was all sort of hidden away. It should be a cloak and pistol to be on brand. Yeah. And it's a Wild West brand, and I bought my cowboy boots ready for the launch event. So I just videoed my feet walking along, like clip, clop, clip, clop. And I've continued that for the last 2 years, because I walk the walk. I've always walked the walk. What I teach, I do. Yeah. And I always start my Instagram videos with my feet walking in, and people are like, they send me pictures of it. So I was just walking down the street looking at Instagram. I thought my shoes had fucking changed. You know, they've got my feet walking, and it's just a really daft thing, but it's just memorable. It's like the chickens. It's those kind of things. People overthink social media. You can waste a lot of time on social media, but if you use it like in the van days, I was delivering wine, driving a van. You can't tweet while still doing either of those things. So in between it, I tweeted on the way back to the van. There was nothing else I could do in that moment other than, yes, sure, look around, smell the air, which I should do more. But I tweeted. Yeah. I shared the story. I shared what I was doing. I replied to that tweet I got when I was in the cellar when I had no reception. I just did it when there was nothing else happening, that, you know, in between doing something mundane. And I still walk into lampposts now, but I'm probably slightly.
Never done that.
You so have. I'm slightly more than you probably should be, but it's just sharing and not overthinking it. Yes, you should have strategies and marketing plans and things like that, but a lot of what works on social media for me, even though I have strategies and paid Facebook ads, is the stupid stuff, the things I didn't even think I'd send.
That's what makes you human.
Yeah, the stuff that I thought, fuck it, just put it out there and see what happens. Yeah. And it's always the daft stuff, the things you don't think about. And that's why, you know, we've just come off another stream where we said everything is marketing. That's why I try and be my brand constantly all the time, so that when I do something really, that was a bit shit, at least I'm on brand or something in it, and it's part of my marketing.
Yeah, it's all relationship building, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Another way to build relationships. So anyway, back to pissing people off on LinkedIn, because that was another thing that I was going to get you ranting about. Go on.
I've decided, right, and you're with me on this, that LinkedIn is square.
Yes.
And
God, yeah.
a couple of hours ago, when you were here, someone actually said to one of my posts, I was talking about why I just put in block capitals, because we love a block capital.
Oh yeah, a bit shouting.
I love a bit shouting. I never accept requests from contacts without a profile picture, because like, who are you? You haven't. And then it's caused this huge thread of people. Most people agree with it, and some people. One person without a profile picture came in to defend himself. You know.
Oh, but he was sweet though.
He was lovely.
Like, I promise I'm putting my profile picture up.
Yeah, still hasn't, by the way. And then someone's put, yes, but if you are going to have a headshot, make sure it's a professional one.
What the hell does that even mean?
This is as professional as like, this is my branded t-shirt, this is my brand.
This is my blue hair.
Yeah, so I've decided that I'm going to leave the village of Twitter and Facebook, and I'm going to go into LinkedIn and kick some dust up, because...
Set fire to it.
Yeah, there's a lot of people in there, there's a lot of fun, there's a lot of great stuff happening, but there's a lot of people just doing the same stuff, and I've been endorsed for this, and so I've been endorsed for shit I don't do.
I know, by people I've no idea who they are.
Mean, fuck off. So I'm going in there with some good content that's going to help people. That's always been my approach. Here's the thing I thought about. What do you think? Not, do you like red or blue? You know, were you a Mercedes or a BMW? No one cares. But I go in and say, look, I don't accept a request from someone without a profile picture, but then I added reasons to it, and then I asked them what they thought, because I genuinely wondered whether people did.
Yeah.
There wasn't a reason, I bet I could get 10,000 hits with this. It wasn't about that.
Yeah.
But there is a lot of people trying to do that and trying to game the system, and people are screenshotting how much reach they got. No one cares. No one cares. Just you. It's just you. If you want to frame it, put it on your mantelpiece, you go right ahead. But screenshotting it on LinkedIn and put it on Facebook to show off is just bollocks. You know, me, maybe I should do it because I help people do stuff on social media. Maybe I could say, look, here's some social proof, but no one cares. No one really cares. They don't care.
They don't. They want stuff to make them think and get them engaged. And you know, sometimes that's as simple as saying, you know, would you accept a request from somebody without a profile picture? Because it is, you know, would you? I don't know. Would you? I probably wouldn't.
I was just fascinated. I was getting so many. I just thought,
And or say really get people thinking rather than this like what's your favourite banana or whatever.
There is literally at the moment recording this. There is a circle of bananas. Which one would you eat? I mean, one of them is black. Like no one eats that unless it's been on a barbecue with ice cream because that's lovely.
That goes to the chicken.
But like. The person that posted that picture of all these bananas in a circle, which one is the right one for you? Like people say, which piece of toast is right? They don't care. No. They're not researching toast. No. They don't care which toast. They are just doing it. They are snorting likes and comments.
Yeah, I like that phrase, snorting likes and comments.
It's not my phrase. I've stolen it from somewhere, saw it in a meme. It must be true.
Oh, I steal all my opinions from elsewhere. Yeah. It's fine.
This is good gin, by the way.
Isn't it lovely?
I think I'm warm to gin.
Thank you very much for this lovely bottle of gin. Yeah, I turned up here earlier and they were like, "Here, we got you this gin," and I'm like, "Awesome!" This is like the third bottle of gin I've been given by podcast listeners and/or contributors this year.
When I see, which I am both, obviously. When I see gin, I think of you. That's the thing. I mean, that's weird, isn't it? But
yeah, that again, though, is the power of social media. Also, daily emails, also podcasts. So all of this stuff works together, doesn't it? It's
constantly in my head. And the little Lego superhero is still here. Like the moment this came here, it's still here. Like we can't throw him away because he's cool, and that's powerful as well. So there is literally a superhero in our kitchen all the time.
By the way, if you can't see it, well, obviously if you're listening to the podcast, you can't see this, but if you're watching the video and you can't see it, it's a little tiny Iron Man, and his mask flips up.
Does it?
Did you not know that?
I never flipped his mask
up.
Wow.
His mask flips up. How cool is that? I
it is
can't
cool.
believe you've had him for so long and you didn't know his mask flipped up.
Well, that's ruined everything.
Oh, there you go. But yeah, I mean that again, it's we're kind of drifting a little bit into, being more fucking interesting, I guess, and being yourself and building a brand.
But it's all the same. So your daily emails are the same as my daily video.
Yeah.
Your podcast is the same as my weekly email, and what you put on Instagram is the same as what I'm doing on LinkedIn. Well, maybe pissing a few people off, but being different, being more fucking interesting. No one is doing what you're doing on LinkedIn, which is why people are like, well, what's that? Because the problem with social media is, I don't know if you've noticed, it's really busy.
It's really busy.
Like, it's no longer a new thing. Oh, you should try Twitter. What's that? Now everyone's doing it, and it's all. I say all 80-20 as all life. 80% of it seems to be automated on Twitter. It's just a feed of drivel. A lot of it is actually really good content. People write blogs and they duly put them out, send some traffic to their websites and stuff. But now everyone's doing it. You just blend in, which is what we were talking about earlier on today. If you just do what everyone else is doing, you just become white noise. Yeah. You just blend in.
Even if it's good.
Even if it's good, exactly my point. It's some of the content is absolutely brilliant, but that's all they're doing, so no one notices them. And that's what I said to this author earlier. I said, well, but that won't work. Yeah. I said, I could charge you money and automate all this stuff, put it all out there, because they're going to be busy for 3 months, which means I'm not going to get anything from them. So all I'm going to do is push out content from their website. Everyone's doing that. You're going to pay me hundreds of pounds, thousands of pounds to blend in. What's the point? I said, you'll get a lot more from sitting down with me for 1 hour, and I'll tell you what you should be doing at your 12 keynote talks you're doing this year, and what you should do before, during, and afterwards, just on LinkedIn, just as a post, just as something.
I can think of a bazillion things that she could do right now. It's like, okay, so you get up in the morning. What's the first thing a writer does in the morning? What are the things you struggled with most? Have a bitch about publishing. Well, probably better be careful about that because your publishers might ditch you. But you're on your way to a speaking engagement. Just do a little, a few quick tweets. How you're feeling.
Yeah.
A million things that you can do to make you more human.
Yeah. The weirdest thing, and this really fascinates me but excites me at the same time, is in my industry, in marketing, in digital marketing, in social media marketing, people aren't using the social media and the marketing, and it's like, are you shitting me? You're charging people to use it. That really pisses me off. But the great thing about it is they're not using it. So I get the opportunity to use it and be there and interact with people and be different and do great things. This week I had a work experience student, and to prove that a tiny bit of effort works, I get emailed 2 or 3 times a week with CVs, and they just get binned. I can't even be asked anymore to reply to them. They're all the same. Someone has said to them, you should do this. So they've all done the same thing. All the students are doing the same thing. And if you're a student listening now, don't do this. Don't email someone with, dear sir, I am not a sir. I say fuck on podcasts. My name is Todd. It's on my website. Find it. Take an interest in my business, a tiny bit of interest, and just tailor the first sentence. So I'm like, oh, you took an interest in me because I care about me.
Yeah.
Right? And so take that interest and do that, but they don't. This guy, Matt, walked into my office with the CV, caught me off guard, sat down, told me about his YouTube channel, how he vlogged for a year, and he went out and he travelled. And I said, dude, I've got to go because I've got a meeting in 5 minutes. And when this meeting finished, his CV was on my desk. And I checked out his YouTube channel, and he worked with me on Wednesday, and he followed me around the whole day. He vlogged my entire day. He sent me the file. I put it in my community. That lad has scraped up £600 worth of business this week already from my connections because he gave a shit about me to start with.
That is a piece of pure solid gold.
And it's a tiny, tiny bit of extra effort. All he did was walk into my office. There's an element of luck there. Yeah. You know that I don't give many people a break. Just a tiny bit, but if he hadn't walked in, it wouldn't have happened.
Yeah, but like you said, it's like blending in a dozen emails a day, and you're not gonna take any notice. But this guy, he walks into your office, and now he's got business from it, from social media again. It's like, so you can make money from social media. It's just you have to be real. You have to be real.
What happened to the backstory to it is he came to my networking meeting and got the money from the networking meeting. And most people thought, we came networking and got money. No. What happened is we did a live stream at 12 o'clock that day. I talked about him the day before. He sent me some content to help me, and he had helped about 50 people in my community. People were talking about him. We shared content as we went around. He came into my networking meeting, followed me with a camera. We attracted attention, and then people asked him for a chat, and then they gave him business. And that's what a lot of people see, the tip of that iceberg. I just go networking and get business. And they go networking, and it doesn't work. I go networking, I follow up on social media, I connect with them on LinkedIn, I make a lot of noise. And it's exactly what you're doing with your Instagram. Yeah. They might just look at you there and there on LinkedIn, on Instagram, and think, oh, I'll just follow that. I'll just take a little bit of interest. Or they might just subscribe to your emails.
And then they notice you. They start noticing you everywhere, don't they?
Just everywhere, occasionally. And Monday they think, I might just try that. Or you come up with a crazy idea like teaching people marketing in a cider press, and they think, oh, fuck it, I'm going to do that. Because they've learned about your chickens for a year. It's mad, but it works.
It does. And by the time you're listening to this, I'm probably actually doing my cider press marketing mashup piss-up thing. So
it sounds incredible.
Yeah. So we've only got a couple of minutes left. So just before we go, I just wanted to ask you, Todd, why do you think people get unsolicited dick pics on social media? This is from a little conversation we're having earlier.
I have a theory.
You have a theory.
Because I've researched this. And
I'm going to preface this with, there is no victim blaming going on whatsoever in this at all. So, with that in mind, Todd, why do people get dick pics and how can you avoid it? And specifically, because the thing was, it's like, I've never had one. I mean, what's wrong? Well, you're a man, but it's like, I've never had one. It's like, there's a 50-50 split of, thank God for that, and what's wrong with me? So, Todd, explain this.
See, I think my partner, Jo, without any, has never had dick pics because I'm very out there and people know that she's with me, and I probably wouldn't cope with that very well. I probably wouldn't react very well. And then there's certain ladies that tend to put themselves out there in quite a nice way. And it's fine for you to do that. Do you know what? If you want to take selfies from the gym at a certain height so I can see down your top, you crack on, my love. But I do think sometimes that does make people think, she seems a bit game. And there's also this theory, I have this theory, and I might just be speaking out of turn for all men in the world, but men don't want to see women naked. They want to see them just before they're naked or when they're nearly naked. That's kind of the marketing thing. You don't give them everything. You just keep a little bit back. And I think that's what that's about. And a lot of ladies kind of just have that, they just look like they're almost naked, but they're not like they're, the whole gym selfie thing, don't even get me started on that because that really pisses me off. Just go to the fucking gym. I saw a great meme earlier of someone that said, it's to save going to the gym, go to the gym, take 500 photos and post them each down on Facebook, never go to the gym again. It just looks like you go to the gym. It's just a great idea. But I do think some people maybe are more open to them because they're more dick pickable.
Dick pickable. Okay, so why am I not dick pickable? I'm glad.
I think you're more of a risk. I think you these people. I've never sent a dick pic, just so you know.
Yeah.
But no, I haven't.
No, I don't believe you.
No, it was to myself, just to see what it looked like. No, I think there's always an element of risk of sending a dick pic. I think men would be like, there's an element of risk. That's exciting. She might screen share it and put it on Facebook, or she might just send it to her mates. That's the element of risk. I think people would look at you and think, oh, fuck no. That's going to be everywhere. My name's going to be in a podcast. It's going to be that you're too much of a risk.
That I would destroy them, that is true.
You would. I think this is like, do you want to jump off a cliff with this parachute or no parachute? You're no parachute. You will die.
Yeah. By the way, if you're a man and you're listening to this and you're wondering if it's ever a good idea to send an unsolicited dick pic, the answer is always no. We don't want them. We don't. They're we just don't.
But men do want tit pics, so that's okay.
And that's the thing. I think.
Do you know what? If I got a tit pic, I would be like, wow. So why is that okay?
No, I don't. Well, I don't.
It is.
I don't think it's okay or not okay, but
I think it's okay.
I think the difference is.
Send me tit
well,
pics.
men are like you say, I would really like tit pics, and so they assume that women want dick pics. It's like we really don't.
That's true.
And on that note, Todd, thanks so much.
Pleasure.
For coming on and talking about dicks. That's been really cool. I've really enjoyed that. Yeah, basically how not to be a douchecanoe on social media, so that's really cool. Thank you very much. Next week there'll be more gin and marketing banter from me and Joe, because Joe will be back. If you like this podcast, please go to iTunes and subscribe and leave us a review. That would be awesome, because it will help more people find us, because we'll go up in the rankings and laugh at us and all the rest of it. Or, you know, if that's not your bag, that's cool, share it instead. If you know somebody who will enjoy this nonsense, send them a link. vickyfraser.com/podcast. And finally, if you want to start doing things differently and being a bit more fucking interesting, go to businessforsuperheroes.com/inner-circle. And if you want to hear more about Todd and Joe and what they do, where can they find you, Todd?
Just Google Spaghetti Agency. It's everywhere. And if you want to come and send me dick pics, then it's social media Todd.
You're so going to get some horrible.
I'm social media Todd everywhere, including LinkedIn, where I really would love a dick pic on LinkedIn.
Oh, that would be interesting, wouldn't it?
That would, as long as it's in a tie.
Oh, a dick in a tie?
Yeah.
Oh my god. Okay, so yeah, if you're on LinkedIn and you're strange and you've found Todd, send him a dick pic with a tie.
That would be amazing.
Yeah, but seriously, if you want to know more about it, because he's awesome at what he does and he's funny and you've just been listening to him, all the rest of it, just look for Spaghetti Agency and yeah, seek him out. There's loads of useful stuff there. So have a good week, guys. If you can't be good, don't get caught, and we'll be back same time next week. Bye.
Bye. Let it end in the beginning of that. Ping it over.